Okay, so at this point, would you consider yourself a novice, intermediate, or expert homebrewer?
I wouldn't call myself an expert, but I would say I'm not intermediate either. I'm always trying to advance
Somewhere in
my
between.
knowledge. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if anyone can ever call themselves an expert in anything. There's always things you can learn and perfect. So.
Right. Have you entered any homebrew contests, and if so, have you won any?
I've only entered one before, and it was year 2 of homebrewing for me. So like when I was a junior in college, I got 4th place in an IPA category, and then I just never really bothered. And that was an extract kit too. I don't know. It's just you got to do it to a schedule, and they want these beers by then, and it's just too much forethought for me. I just don't care to do it.
But I think you've done our
I do those.
competitions.
I do those because I just whatever I have on tap I bring, and then I
Yeah.
just try to fit it into whatever categories there it might fit into.
So you're not going to enter the Knickerbocker one?
I will, just because I'm going to enter that Fresh Shot Pilsner, which will be ready by then. I just brewed that this weekend. And
Right.
then I got a Dunkel that I just started carving up, and that will be probably just getting nice and tasty by then too. So I'll probably enter that.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say, because you said you were working on it, like trying to do a Vienna lager,
Mm-hmm.
or you want to do one, or you did do one?
I have done a couple in the past. I'm trying to perfect that.
So were they like more like Sam Adams, or more like Negro Modelo or something?
That's a good question. I'd say maybe somewhere in between. I prefer the maltier spectrum on those.
Yeah.
And Sam is a little bit more hop forward.
Yeah.
Not that that's a bad thing.
And I've always said Sam Adams Boston Lager, you could confuse it for a pale ale. So what's been the most challenging or daring homebrew you've done?
Well, the club barrel,
Oh yeah.
was challenging just from a logistics standpoint. Just getting together and having to do all that was difficult. Other than that, I did a triple decoction once on a all Citra Pilsner I made that I way over hopped, and it was extremely bitter, but that's just because it's so labor intensive. It's worthwhile to try if you've never done it.
Do you have an idea of how many batches you've made over the years?
I probably do anywhere from 50 to 75 gallons a year, depending on the year. Like this past year, I probably pushed over 100.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, divide that by 5, and that's about what it is.
So are you like basically like homebrewing every weekend or every other weekend?
I usually I try to do every weekend.
How do you have time to drink all these beers?
Lots of parties.
I never was invited. What the hell?
Well, I'll have to let you know next time. My wife's in graduate school,
Well, okay.
and her friends like to drink.
Well, we already answered this one. Any flat out failures you had to dump?
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, we didn't answer that one. You just said the first one wasn't very good.
Yeah, we drank it still, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one I had to dump, and it tasted like apple cider, or had that really cidery, and it wasn't like the acetaldehyde cidery. It was just not good, and it wasn't getting better. I gave it like 6 months. I tried adding some Brettanomyces dregs that I had sitting around, and that didn't help it. And at that point, I was.
What kind of beer was it? What style?
It was a Pilsner that I made a bit darker, and I also pitched it right on top of a Pilsner yeast cake that I already had from a previous batch. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what happened there, but it just didn't turn out well.
Was this recent or a long time ago?
About a year and a half ago. Shortly after I moved here.
Oh, cool. So what are your favorite and least favorite styles of beer to drink?
It's a good question. It depends. I guess is the short answer. The long answer would be season, mood, time of day, temperature.
Right.
You know how it goes. It depends on what I'm in the mood for.
Yeah.
There's not a beer style I won't drink.
But you don't have like a go-to like when we go to like the Ruck or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see the board there is like the first like what IPAs do they have, or like maybe like this time of year what pumpkins do they have, or see you just kind of like drink the mood and season. I'm like that too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to just kind of go on whatever you're feeling.
Right. Do you have favorite and least favorite styles to brew?
Yeah, I don't really like making rye beers. I don't really like brewing Hefeweizens or wheat heavy beers. But wheats, I brew a lot of wheat or wits.
Right.
But like the American wheats and German Hefeweizens and stuff, I don't care for.
Mm-hmm. That's funny because like I mean like 4 of those. I'll extract them.
I'll drink them any day.
Yeah.
I'll drink them any day of the week, but I don't know. I don't care to brew them.
Right. Well, plus if you're doing all grain, it's probably a completely different process. So how did you hear about Albany Brew Crafters?
Google. I found the Thorough Brews, and when I first moved here and I was contemplating going up there, and I just didn't want to make the hike, and then
Right.
I saw the Brew Crafters website pop up one day, and I was like, oh shit, this looks good. And then I waited, like I said, I waited like a month or two, and then I finally bit the bullet and went.
Right. What made you want to join?
I started a homebrew club in college, and it's
Right.
nice to have people who share your hobby and you can bounce ideas off of, and who can taste your beer and actually give you a good feedback.
Right. What's your long-term future homebrewing plans? Any big projects or?
Oh, I just bought a nitro tap system, so I plan to get that installed this weekend. Other than that, I want to get another dedicated freezer for yeast vials and samples. I don't want to start working towards creating my own house yeast. So putting specific pressures on the yeast to make it generate flavor characteristics that I want, and then harvest those dregs and keep that going. Excuse me. See if I can create something unique.
You said you're like an engineer. Are you like a chemical engineer? Or?
Yes.
Okay, so must come natural to you then.
Well, I wouldn't say natural, but I enjoy this stuff.
Where did you go to college?
Ohio University,
What was your major?
chemical engineering.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a bachelor's or master's or?
Yeah, I just got a bachelor's. I got a degree from Institute of Brewing and Distilling as well, in brewing science and technology.
Is that something
And I did that after I graduated college.
you did that online or like?
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool. That's what I find about that. What advice would you give people considering getting into homebrewing?
Don't do it to save money, because it's not going to be cheaper than buying beer.
Right.
Unless you really are really frugal about it, and don't give up either, because you're going to make bad beers.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Alright, so I guess that about wraps it up with the interview with Bret. So thanks for coming over. Check
Thanks
out
for having
the
me.
Great Macro Lager video because you were in that one too.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And check out my channel, Chad976, or actually Chad's Beer Reviews, because we'll be reviewing a commercial beer on there. So thanks for watching.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.